let us try to see different bones in the axial and appendicular skeleton. So in axial skeleton, you have 4 different parts of your human skeleton system. So you have something called a skull, then you have hyoid bone, then you have vertebral column and thoracic cage. So all these 4 different parts are a part of axial skeleton, right? So in total, you have 80 bones in the axial skeleton. Then you have other 4 parts of the human skeletal system that forms a part of appendicular skeleton. And these are pectoral girdle, upper limbs, pelvic girdle, and lower limbs. And if you count the number of bones in the appendicular skeleton, then they are 126 in numbers. So if you add 80 and 126, then 206 bones in total is a part of human skeletal system. Yes. So let us start with the axial skeleton. So axial skeleton, you have the skull, right, which is a part of axial skeleton, right? So it consists of 22 bones. Then you have a hyoid bone, which is a single bone. So this is a hyoid bone which is present at your neck. So this bone is not attached to any bones of the skeletal system, right? So this bone is only the floating bone in the human skeletal system, and this bone helps in swallowing of the food. So when you swallow your food, this bone basically move up and down, right? So this is a single bone which is known as hyoid bone. Then you have vertebral column. So everybody is familiar with the vertebral column. So it consists of 26 bones. We will try to see vertebral column in details, right? So this is a central, bones that forms the vertebral column. Then you have the thoracic cage. So the thoracic region of the vertebral column is basically consists of the thoracic ribs, which are attached posteriorly to the thoracic vertebral columns and anteriorly to the bone, which is called as sternum, which is right here, right? So these ribs, right? These ribs anteriorly connected to the sternum and posteriorly connected to the thoracic vertebra of the vertebral column. So this forms a cage. The sternum and the ribs forms a cage which is known as thoracic cage. So thoracic cage, vertebral column, thyroid bone and skull forms the part of axial skeleton. And whatever is attached to this axial skeleton forms a part of appendicular skeleton. For example, pectoral girdle. So what is pectoral girdle? So pectoral girdle formed by, 2 bones. The first bone is the clavicle bone, which is right here, the straight bone, and then you have the scapula, which is a triangular bone. If you look from behind, then you will see a triangular bone. So the clavicle and this scapula, form together the pectoral girdle, and pectoral girdle provides the attachment to the upper limb, right? So this upper limb is a part of, again, the appendicular skeleton. So the pelvic girdle, which is formed by clavicle and the scapula and the upper limb, right? This is a part of appendicular skeleton. And in the lower part of your body, you have the lower limb, right? So this is the lower limb. And this lower limb is attached to the axial skeleton through something called as pelvic girdle. So in the pelvic girdle, we will see different bones in the pelvic girdle, but just remember, this is a part of the appendicular skeleton, which is a pelvic girdle. And this provides the attachment to the lower limb. So this is the complete arrangement of the human skeletal system, the axial skeleton and the appendicular skeleton.